Hello. I was a little rusty last week, and I like missed some things in the video. So we're gonna do another showcase of the Mages Revived Skeleton Necromancer. It's now the third weekend. I think it's day 15 or 16 of season 13 ladder. I've got some gear like updates, upgrades anyway, but he's pretty close to maxed out at this point. So we're gonna go over first the skills and then the stats, and then the gear, and then I'll do a tier three map. So the skill breakdown that I was neglected in last weekend: 10 points curse mastery for two curses. Lower resist ends up being my dump, like every remaining skill point skill. It's currently at minus 52 all resistance when I've got my mapping gear on. The main build, of course, is a summoning build. The poison and bone, just a single point to desecrate to help with the summons at the beginning, a single point in bone armor, which scales with energy, so that weighs into the statting on the character sheet. The majority of the skills are in summoning. The max skills are mages and revives and skeleton mastery. I put 5 hard points in golem mastery to be able to get a two golem set up. One is a blood golem, one is an iron golem, single point in each of those. I mentioned last time the iron golem is an insight, and I did put a single point into blood warp. Anything in the like 27 to 29, 30 if you want to have the cooldown either be zero point 0.2 seconds or non-existent is probably ideal. The statting is vitality to, or, strength for gear. 185 is the number for a non ethereal, like standard Sigurd. 175 if you got an ethereal one. Um, Enough vitality to be comfortable. I feel pretty good at this 1200 to 1250 life. I could probably do anything like 1100 to 1300 is probably okay, and then dump the rest to energy because it synergizes the bone armor. This guy's bone armor is if you want to be close to 1,000, over 1,000 if you can. He's at 929. If I was respecking, I probably would do a little bit lighter on the vitality, a little bit more on the energy, because some of the gear has changed since I did my last respec. I've got probably a little bit more life than I need. 11 to 1300 range is good. I'm on the higher end of that, and I'm probably on the lower end of energy, but stat to preference. The characters using the 50 fast cast rate break, or the 48 faster cast rate breakpoint right now with 50. 75 is ideal. I don't know that it's realistic with the kind of heavy survivability defensive setup that I'm going with. The faster hit recovery breakpoint is I'm still using the 16. I think 26 or 39 would also feel better. But it's all trade-offs. I'm trying to prioritize the rep life because this is the REPRomancer. Resistances are all still maxed. He's got a little bit of physical damage reduction as well. 85 faster run walk now too is feels pretty good. Um, and Now the gear. So the main updates, I'm still using Nether Crux one. Now I've got one with 20 faster cast rate. That's what allows me to get that breakpoint. I was previously at 30. Now I'm up to the 48 breakpoint. Puzzled for 2 sockets, still using Ist runes in there. I think that's the best slot for Magic Find for Summon Necro. The shield is the same. Sacred Totem, that's where all the resistances are coming from, where the runes are well invested there. This empowers the extra revives. This powers the extra mages, so you get a total of 10 mages, 12 revives. The rest of the gear is replenish life still. We've got the same Trangs. I think 20 is the max replenish life roll you can get on the slam there. The Bull Kathos ring with 31 life. The Sigurd's is slightly better. This is now a 6 iron skin one, the max level. And that's because that's an O skill iron skin. Anything that has all skills on the rest of his gear, including the Annihilus charm, will and the BK rings will scale that up. So he's actually running like something like level, I don't know, 10 or 11 iron skin, something like that. The other ring slot is new. We just bought this yesterday. It was expensive but worth it. the 10 faster cast rate being necessary to hit that breakpoint if it's 20 from the gloves, 20 from the wand, and the 10 makes the 50. More life is good too. And then the other update just from the last couple days is I've got a new amulet, +2 to necromancer skills. The previous was summoning, and the necromancer skills is better because it will boost the curse as well, the lower resistance. And the replenish life, I think 60 is the theoretical max it can roll, but it's on a pretty good spot there with 46. And this one, slammed cannot be frozen, which opens up the option to use War Travelers with the Rep Life Slam. Basically, I think of that CBF slam as being the equivalent of a 48 Magic Find slam on the amulet because I no longer need to wear the Marowaks. I can just use them to snapshot the Skeleton Mastery, but I don't have to wear them while playing because I've got an alternative source of cannot be frozen now. So the snapping gear is now the boots. It's a remaining skiller to swap out for the Geeds. It's a +2 Annie. The one that I'm maining with is experience because I'm going to keep pushing him all the way, I believe. And then the other snapshot gear, any Arachnid mesh, good use of an ethereal one because you're never going to actually be wearing it while playing. I've got a +4 circlet. The head is still the same, 6 skeleton mages. Haven't had the courage to slam it yet because I still don't have a backup for it. The grave palms, and then this I've been trying to desecrate these amulets. I've gone through 3 of them. I've bricked 2. This is the only one that survived, so still stuck at +4 right now. The +5s are the most ridiculous, most expensive thing to truly min max. But at this point, the character is the only thing that keeps him away from his theoretical max at this point would be +5 on the amulet instead of 4, and then having a head like this that slams for +1 to have 7 to mages instead of the 6. But that's really grasping at straws here. The Trang armor is the same. That's the all skills. This is where the Dole runes are for more replenished life, and then the Shaco is the same as well. I've been messing around with these anniversary Shakos whenever I can find them. I want to get one that has. I had one that has 2 sockets, but I bricked it. And then I might box this. I don't know. The extra maximum life is it's like 30 life or so. Um, but that's kind of some stretch min maxing. A +1 all skill theoretically could help too. It would get the final point for the cooldown. This is currently at 30 when I have battle command at the beginning, but when I let the battle command wear off, I go back down to 29. It's not a huge deal, but +1 on the helmet would, or like a +1 desecration, or any version of a +3 cannot be frozen. Um, on the amulet would get that down, as well as every little point at this point gives an extra percent reduction resistance on the lower resist, but really reaching there for significant improvements at this time. The mercenary is still the Iron Wolf, Act 3 Lightning. Got a 2-socket Skyfall now with 2 kind of junky facets in there. -26 Pierce there, -23 Pierce on the Griffin. Um, He's wearing a like a plus life mage fist would be better. I just haven't gotten around to getting one, or even replenish life on him, honestly. But probably plus life would be better. The T Gods has a useless slam on it. Um, Still wearing Marowaks, and then he's got Innocence and Exiles. Well, that's all the same. His breakpoint, getting him to the 86 faster cast rate would be kind of cool. I don't know exactly how to get there without um, getting like you'd need basically a faster cast rate slam on the Skyfall. I think would be the best way to do it because even having 30 Mage Fist and a 10 there would only get him to 85, so he would still need a little bit more. Um, I mean, I guess the declone boots in theory too, but that's getting really ridiculous and not something I'm interested in pursuing. He does fine at the 58 breakpoint right now. Honestly, I'm okay with that. It's still cast pretty frequently. So let's do the little showcase map here. Just swapping everything out. Inside back, and so at game start now with all the snapshot gear on, he's going to be level 59 mages. The last two mages, the ninth and 10th one, well, I guess will be level 60 technically. And then the revives, once you swap the three summoning for the three, oh, I guess yeah, it's the same thing. The revives will all be level 58. So they're, the theoretical, you get an extra two more points out of each of those if I had the perfect desecrated amulet and I'm sorry, you would get plus one out of more out of the revives with the amulet, plus two out of the mages with the head being upgraded. But again, we're reaching to go there. We're going to run a map. It is a demon road. It does have increased velocity and cast speed on it, so take that into account. But it also has that extra crafting materials on it, so I'll probably be looting as well. But let's do it. Let's do it. So game start. We're going straight to Traversal. Buffing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get the mages back. Swap the shield first. And now we're going to summon the revives before we swap the rest of the gear. I've gotten pretty efficient at that at this point, 30 seconds-ish to get the game started and get into the map. I know it's still a deal breaker for some people, and I'll probably just never be able to convince you that it's worth it if you've made up your mind that it's not worth it, or that you've ruled out the build because that's annoying for you. Fair enough, that's totally your prerogative. You don't need to play a summoner if that's a deal breaker for you. I think it's worth 30 seconds, and especially now having logged as much time playing this character as I have, I know it's worth it. So we can agree to disagree as to whether that's a viable or effective way to play the game. So it's basically the cast, teleport. I'm gonna pick up these gems because I've been crafting a lot, and just mostly trust the rep life to do its thing. I'm generally starting maps now with an empty belt and just picking up rejuves along the way because a couple of friends are doing bossing and I want to be able to provide them the resources they need to do that with the potions. I don't have to drink a ton myself unless I get into a tough survivability spot with aura stacked or archers. We've died a total of 16 times. That includes the opening day stuff. A couple goofs every once in a while, but if 99 is the goal, there's definitely an interest in not dying very often. And that's where the rep life, I think, in my opinion, becomes worth the trade-off of what extra magic fine would be. In this map, you still got 282. I think the base is over 200. I can check at the end. I'm sure it was on the screen before. I just forget what the value is. It's around 200, maybe a little bit more. And when I'm like really cruising, I'm being pretty efficient with my motions. Oh, we're lagging. There we go. They wipe out stuff pretty good for a tier 3 map. I've soloed some of the like fortified ear maps as well. He can do fortified versus non-fortified for like regular mapping, roughly equivalent. I personally just prefer to do non-fortified because it feels a little bit more like one-shotting to me, and I also just kind of like the way it feels to have more enemies on screen rather than fewer enemies with more life, but teach their own. We're coming up on the boss, and we got an EXP event. All right, little experience boost there. Currently at 96, on the way to 97. Then on the boss, it's weaken and lower resist. Unload some inventory space and be right back at it. So this is, I guess, kind of what I talk about when I say the goal is to have like a stress-free mapping experience. If you're watching the clock really closely, we're still at 8 minutes, 20 seconds from game creation at this point, and that included, you know, messaging to try to get somebody to come join the experience event, doing it, killing the boss, quick trip to town to unload to make sure I'm picking up all those gems and stuff for crafting. We're not chasing a particular world record pace single map, but this is the sort of pace that I can play at comfortably for a longer like extended session. So the overall grind towards 99 feels more tolerable if you're not trying to break a record with every map that you do. Or at least, and I'm saying you, I'm really just talking about myself. If you can sustain hours of gameplay at some of the, you know, 4 or 5 minute T3 rates that every season one or two builds either can do or claims to be able to do, um, kudos. I'm not that person. The rep life concept does take a little getting used to. Like I've gotten much more comfortable this season with seeing my life pool dip below 500 at times even, and knowing that I'm still okay. There we go. So that is, um, yeah, 10 minutes and 15 seconds from game creation, tier three, with a map event, and I think a pretty casual pace. 223 was the magic find number, um, base, before the map bonus. It's really fun. I love this build. I'm gonna keep going with it. So we'll see if there's a final form update or not after this. Probably not. If there's really low chance of me actually hitting one of those amulets or finding a mirror to pay the service or whatever. But we'll see where he goes. Another little like side project that I'm considering working on, um, involves crafting either um, ruby chests that have max life and native life after kill, or these ones with higher defense and faster hit recovery with the sapphires. If I can hit a really cool like +1 necro 4 socket armor that has other cool mods on it, might consider respecking to poison at some point, and doing Nova, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But that's what we got. Thank you.